All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Hey boys and girls, we are going to talk about S&W shooters and prospectors. What is S&W shooters and prospectors?
We at S&W Shooters and Prospectors help people find treasure.
Did you say treasure?
Yes, treasure. Just listen to this amazing review from our happy customer, Jackie Sparrow.
Chocolate ship-shape and a pleasure to deal with. I was able to buy everything that I needed at prices that were shillings less than others. I found my 9 pieces of it in no time. Savvy?
I know you're asking yourself, why should I shop at S&W Shooter and Prospectors?
Chuck Smalley has over 45 years of metal detecting experience. He works with each customer one-on-one to customize their setup to match their skill level.
So if you always dreamt of being a pirate, contact Chuck at S&W Shooters and Prospectors and he'll dig up a great deal for you.
iPads and rum not included.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show. All right, the fine print's out of the way. It's time to roll with the show. We're back. We're live once again. And let's see here. Looks like people are dropping into the chat. Definitely. See Emery's in, Alan, Fred. Good to see Fred back. Frankie's in. Jason. Ruth. Welcome to Ruth. Yeah. All right. Jump over to the other screen here and start getting everybody in. Oh, let's see. We're since it is the swing into summer update, we've got this into the Illinois Iowa Treasure Hunters group as well. Which one do I want? This one. How's it going, Chuck?
Going well. How are you? I had to go
All right.
and get something here. I've got a show here in a while. So, no, it's going good. We had a good day. I got a lot done. Worked on the tractor, changed oil, lubed, worked on the mower blades, got them sharpened up, put the snow blower away, and now they're talking cold weather and maybe a chance of snow flurries.
Of course, you put the snowblower away.
Yes, sir, I did. I just laughed. It ain't going to stick around, but it's go figure.
Yeah, I did the same thing last week or the week before, and I saw some chance of snow in the forecast and thought, I'm not that concerned.
Nope. So it's going to blow through, and we'll get shorter cold fronts and longer warm spells. So that's what we want to see.
Right. It'll blow through and we can send it to Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. Let them have it. So.
Why not?
Yeah. What the heck?
Got to share with everybody.
Yeah. I see Barb. Man, we got a house full. Barb just rolled in. Barb was taking pictures to the east and west of her, and there's fires on either side of her. You pay attention to them, Barb.
Yeah. Yeah. This is nuts. I mean, North Carolina can't catch a break. No. Flooding, hurricanes, snow, ice, wind, tornadoes, more rain, now wildfires.
Yeah, and we've got some names I'm not from. Ruth Beck. Hello, Ruth.
Yeah, I saw that. Welcome to Ruth.
Yeah, that's cool. Tom, what's up, buddy? So Emery. Oh, Ruth is Emery's mother. Well, welcome, Mom.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
She's keeping track of you, Emery.
Yep. Keeping tabs on him since he's such a celebrity.
Yeah, he's kind of put a little ripple in the pool there.
Yeah, he's got people talking, that's for sure. Quite the finds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. He's done very well for himself. And I saw another guy in the chat there too. Alan Landau's in the chat.
Yeah, our boy Alan's in. He's going to talk with us tonight, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Got some more news on swing in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
at least as far as I know, I think he's more than happy to announce that tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. You can be chatting about that shortly. And Dennis got out. He got some marbles. He got one silver dime, some toasty Indians. He got out in the field today. Good on you. Yeah. He posted that up barely just a little bit back.
Ah, nice. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope, not a bit.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Can't beat it. And the flyer is currently in the works.
Yep, it's in the works. We had to check with people who were hanging on the edge, whether they're coming or not. We got that all cleared up, and it's being worked on. And part of the other flyer, there's a second flyer now coming out. It's going to probably have to be on a second flyer. Alan will be explaining what's going on there with us at Swing in the Summer. And Knock has stepped up to the plate with us, and it's going to be fun.
So we're going to have 2 Swing into Summer flyers.
Mm-hmm. One will just be, the day of what's going on, and one explaining what Alan's going to bring forward here to you all for our club. And it'll be a good time. Oh, Mindy's in the house. How's Mindy?
Yes, it will.
Having a pretty big announcement here when Alan gets on what we're doing.
Right.
And what Knock is doing with us and for us. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And the way I understand it, Nokta's excited.
Yep.
Alan and John, they're excited. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens and how things go down. And yeah, looking forward to it. So I guess we should probably get him in here too, because he'll have plenty of time to talk.
We've got everybody sitting on the edge of their seats. I can tell right now.
Well, hey, Sunday we had them on the edge of their seat, and then I think Emery knocked them right off of their chair with that bridal rosette.
Yep. Yep, he sure did. That was pretty cool.
That is. And I did see you posted that. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, Jason. And
so,
yeah, we got a good crew in the house. You're going to like what we're going to be talking about.
yeah. And Sunday, they'll get a kick out of it too. Sunday, we've got Fred Benke.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, this guy has written books on the 1715 fleet, the Indian Wars in North Dakota, the Oregon Trail. He gets around. I think I heard he had traveled something possibly like 10,000 miles last year.
Wow.
With all the running around he does. I don't know. Mark Hoover likes to say have adventure, will travel, but it sounds like Fred may kind of be a step up on Mark.
Ooh.
He gets around.
Yes, he does.
But yeah, looking forward to speaking with him Sunday. So folks have that they can look forward to.
Good.
So we've got that. So should we get Alan in here?
Yeah, he's sitting there rocking back and forth. He can't wait to talk about this. I know.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was waiting to see if he was going to get up for something, and then I was going to bring him in.
Right. Right.
No, I won't do that to him. All right, let's get Alan in here, too. How is it going, Alan?
I'm doing great. How is everybody else tonight?
Good.
Glad to hear it.
Now, before Alan talks about this, Alan and John came up kind of with this idea, and it's evolving, and it's been ran one time so far, and they want to expand it into other clubs, hunts. And so he threw it at me, and I threw it back at him and said, talk to Tim, our president, and if he okays it, I'm good with it. I mean, it's my club's hunt. It's not my hunt. Right. And it got okayed, and now it's going to be there.
Yeah. So that's why we've got Alan on, so that he can give everybody all the bullet points about it. And if anybody's got any questions, we got the right guy in the hot seat.
Okay, so what we have to announce is the I&I NACTA ID Me Team Challenge coming to the I&I Hunt. What that is three-person teams. There will be 15 different flags that you have to say what's in the holes and ID it. And the more exact you are in your answer, the more points you get for each hole. Then there will be 2 extra holes to identify as a tiebreaker in case there is one. Like Chuck said, we did it up at the Chicago Dig Fest last September. Went over great. This is totally sponsored by NACTA. What you have, just to give you an idea, first place is going to be triple score metal detectors to all 3 members of the team. Second place is going to be the NACTA pinpointer.
The AccuPoint.
The AccuPoint pinpointer, yes. Third place is either going to be a shovel or a beach scoop, and I'm not sure which one they're approving yet. Fourth place will be a pouch and a hand digger, and if not more. The cost of the entry is $20 per person or $60 per team. And just to give you an idea, everything that is going to be in the targets will be something that's been dug in the last year by either myself or by John Ramoska. So it's something you're going to find anytime you're out. And I guarantee you everybody has found everything that will be in those targets. Everything.
Yeah.
From the last time we did the hunt, First place to last place was only 6 points difference. And the team that won, everybody would say, oh, I don't know my machine well enough. I haven't been detecting long enough. Well, the team that won, 2 of the guys who had been detecting for 9 months, the other one was detecting for 4 or 5 months. And they're the team that won, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And they
definitely.
just missed out on getting one of the targets because one of the members of the team swore it was what it really was, and the other 2 talked them out of it. So it cost them 2 points. And he had it down. And this will be, registration will be Saturday morning at the hunt at the NOCTA booth. We will start it and we'll give people times to come back, each team when to come back to be there to run their team. You'll have a minute and a half at each flag, and we're going to send everybody out probably 2 or 3 flags apart because we don't want any teams listening in on the team ahead of them or the team behind them.
Oh, good thinking.
And it will be timed, and you will have to move on when we call time. Because last time we learned from a mistake and we let it go a little too long. And there were people waiting 5-10 minutes trying to discuss it. And everybody got real hard and harsh on what they were trying to write. And if they would have stuck with their first opinions, they would have been better off. Because they had notes all over their score sheets. And each team will have a score sheet. Every hole will have either one target.
The score sheet that you're talking about, each individual has one.
Each individual team
will have a score sheet. Okay.
One score sheet.
Clarify that.
And then they discuss what they think is in each hole. There will be either one target, 2 targets, or 3 targets. And you have to decide from that.
Okay.
And it could be anything.
Right. And Mindy, yes.
Ring of light could be a pull tab and a nickel.
Yeah.
You got to really go over each one to figure out what it is.
So the total number of targets they have to ID are how many again?
There are 15 for the hunt, and then 2 more for a tiebreaker. And the tiebreakers are generally the hardest one to figure out what it is.
Jason has a question. Alan, is this going to end up leading to a nationals NOTCA event at the end of the year?
Maybe not yet this year, but eventually it's getting that way.
I'm sure NOTCA would like to see it go that direction.
We're in the process of discussing that. They loved what they saw from the first time we ran it, and they wanted to see it at another location, and we're doing it at the I&I hunt.
Cool.
And then they're deciding to do national. If it goes national, it'll be at about 5, maybe 6 locations. And we've already talked about a couple of those locations. So we haven't talked to other people yet.
So I'm sure that some people may bring this up. So I'll just get these 2 questions out of the way now, just in case. The first one would be, registration is at the NOTCA tent. So there's no pre-registration online or anything. They will do it there the day of the hunt, correct?
Yes.
And
go ahead.
And the second part of that would be, since it is a 3-man team, and I'm thinking we covered this before when we were talking about when you guys had it at DigFest.
Mm-hmm.
Say somebody shows up at the hunt, his buddies don't want to participate, but he does. They can probably form a team with other people that maybe their friends don't want to.
What we do is we have another list for individuals or 2 people that are looking for a third, and we will put teams together to make full teams.
There you go. Okay.
And it's separate from the I&I hunt, so that's why it's $20 per person, and that goes towards all the prizes, which will never cover all the prizes anyway. But that's okay. That's taken care of too.
Right.
Any other questions at this point? No, everybody can bring their own machine, Emery. And it doesn't matter what machine you're using, whatever you're comfortable with and what you know on your machine, that's what you guys go by.
Yeah, good point. Just because it is a Nokta-sponsored hunt doesn't mean that you have to run a Nokta machine
No,
to
you do
participate.
Not. That is correct. And like I said, I made up the things for the last hunt, and then from listening to people talk about it, went back and redid some of the different flags and made it, I thought, a little easier, and the scores still were pretty hard.
It does not matter what branded machine you're using.
No. You use whatever machine you know the best.
Yep.
Right.
That's
use what you're proficient with.
Yeah, and the first place team will win a triple score from Nokta, and we will have them there at the event. They are actually sending all the prizes to me, and I will bring them down to the hunt.
So if your team wins the 3-man ID Me hunt, you will take your prize home that day.
Oh, yes. You will have all the prizes will be given out that exact day.
Yep.
Nice.
And the time frame for when your team will hunt, because we're going to try and spread it out during the free time and hunts. So nothing will be during the seated hunt.
Right. Yeah, that way nothing conflicts.
Cool.
That makes sense.
It'll be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot going on that day. Almost too much. We've got the panning championship for that day. We've got the hunt that's going on here. We've got our regular hunts going on. We'll have
kids hunt.
And you're going to want to go, folks, you're going to want to go to the meet and greet, because there's some information coming down the line that'll be put out at the meet and greet, and that will be a game changer.
And if people are at the meet and greet and say they want to get their names in for the next morning, you can do that at the meet and greet also.
Yep. We'll set up on a table. And the meet and greet, there's going to be some raffles and some nice prizes. And I'll show you a couple of them in the raffles here. I don't know how good this is going to show up.
Oh.
There you go. I scored a bunch of MS 62, 63 Morgans recently, and I'm serious on them.
Wow.
Those are nice.
There's a couple that could push 64.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
So those will be raffled, and they're only at the meet and greet.
You can give it to me now. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. And there'll be some gold at the meet and greet too, I'm sure. So these are nice pieces. I was able to do some finagling to get them, and no, they aren't 96S's or anything like that, but they are very nice Morgans. So we'll get you all hyped up. You better get up here.
Well, I say again, when silver's bouncing 33, 34 plus an ounce, I'll take it in any way, shape, or form I can get it.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Silver is, I think it's still heading way up still.
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. I still say it's undervalued.
Yep. I don't know what they did today. I didn't pay attention to it. I was in my redneck mode working on tractors.
Well, throughout history, silver's always been about 37-1 to gold.
Yeah. I was going to say usually
26.
Yeah, usually right there, 37 to maybe 45-1.
Yep.
And we
Hard-
haven't seen that in many years.
About 20 years.
Uh-huh.
So but they're talking with some of the guys. They're talking $3,500 an ounce gold this year.
Which means silver needs to get on the ball.
Yep. So,
What I was hearing for silver was around 50 is what they were thinking.
Yeah, and we ain't seen prices like that since the 80s.
The Hunt brothers?
Yes, sir.
Yep. I saw it at 42 with the Hunt brothers. Janet, what charity is the club sponsoring this year at the Hunt? I really have not been told of any. Some of the proceeds of some of my raffles goes this time around to my Firefighters Association. I try to do that a couple times a year.
Which is always a good cause.
And they support the food bank in the Cordova area. They support the library, and we have science night, fire science night for the kids with the library, and do some other things. So that stuff. And then occasionally we'll buy a piece of equipment that's needed for the EMS group or whatever.
Or I believe one year you guys got a defibrillator for the library.
Yes, we did. That
equipment isn't cheap.
So, yep. So we try to support that stuff, and then I'll be over at Detecting the Heartlands Hunt, and I think we're doing the Diabetes Foundation again.
Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation.
Yep, in memory of Jeff Dorson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we try to get some of that out. Nothing better than helping organizations like that. So
Yes.
I'll have some good raffle stuff at the meet and greet at Detecting the Heartland, and the day of, and there might be some gold involved there, and I'll be doing the same thing. And I generally cleave that money off to different organizations.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing but great support. The Chicago boys have supported me very huge, and everybody else. And I can safely say at Detecting the Heartland alone, since I've been working the organizations, I've superseded about 12 grand in donations. Money going to their private organizations, scouting, JDRF, whatever else that we've worked on. Oh, there was a camp. What was a camp out here in Iowa? Mindy could remember them. And some of them last year was $3,800 that I was able to give to.
Sounds right.
Yeah. And other people had donated. We turned it into a huge raffle, but my little bunny pendant, I can safely say, drew 1,000 of that plus. That's right. We went to Kelly last year. The year before was JDRF, and I did 1,750 in that one alone. So in 2 years' time, over $5 grand.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you guys step up to the plate and it goes to good organizations, I don't mind working that at all. Alan and group have supported my firefighters a couple of years over there, and they see, last year I gave them, that's above and beyond, 780, and year before that 600 and something, just being at Alan's hunt.
Yeah. And the gang over there at the Illinois Metal Detecting Association and Chicago Dig Fest have always been very gracious about allowing you to run raffles.
Old boys, that were firemen that are in that club, they'll just throw money at me. But you boys,
we have to be nice to one person a year, so we're done now.
So, we try to work those and show the good light that we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So anyway, yeah, Alan, this sounds like a lot of fun. It's going to be busy. It's going to be crazy, and that's the way they're supposed to be. And we're supposed to make sure that everybody at least has fun.
Oh yeah. The funniest
And
is at the end, once I pull out all the targets and everybody, all the teams start looking it over. I should have known that, or
That's right.
I got that wrong.
That's right.
It was hilarious watching that part.
We'll have you set up front near the NACA tent. I think there's a spot there we can do this thing in right there for NACA, because they got to come to the NACA tent anyway to sign up.
Right.
So, and Alan will be manning that with Mr. Ramoska. I appreciate his efforts. It'll be a lot of fun. And we'll have a good day.
yeah.
We'll have a good day.
It'd be a busy day.
Just in from the chat, I believe silver spots 3386 currently.
Yes.
I have not seen gold though.
And Mindy, you are 100% correct. Silver is tough to get deals. What we do is we hit coin shows and we beat them up to take everything they got. And that's the only way we can get them at a price.
That's why they go around in a big group.
Yes. Well, no, we go around separately and then hit them as a group.
We've got some good dealers in the Quad City area. We got Ace coins in Moline, Illinois. We also got another one in Davenport, another one in they were in East Moline. They just moved into Moline on the other, and they help us and support the club. So yeah, we got some good dealers, and they know what we're doing, and the first silver dollars for the ones in the hunt, they cut me a deal on them. It was nice. It was really nice. So they knew where it was going. They know me, and they treat us well. Good to know your local dealers, folks.
Gold spot 3,041.47.
Yeah. Gold's been bouncing around that pretty stable the past few days, just over the 3,000 mark.
Yeah. And thanks to Dennis for keeping us updated. I'm sure he's watching gold, knowing that Alaska's coming.
Yeah. Hey, what was it? 1 gram of gold is $100 bill.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I am too.
Yep.
I am too. So that makes what we were getting out of the high bankers and that much more.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Alan's going, now I know what I can do with all this fine gold I'm accumulating.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've got it all in tubes right now.
Yeah.
That was my thing during COVID. When you weren't supposed to be working, couldn't go out, I was bringing in pay dirt and panning.
Yep.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, I just bought a cleanup sluice, and I'm buying a small mini high banker for this summer to get out.
Yep. There's places, believe it or not, in and around Illinois that you can go get. Now I'm not talking an ounce a day type of stuff, but if you get 5-6 grams in a week, 7 grams, and you have
It adds up fast.
It adds up.
Yeah, it's not feasible for the big corporations, but it's very feasible for the weekend prospector.
Yes,
Northeast Iowa really does have some good spots where you can crevice out the bedrock and you'll get a lot of fine gold. And they actually have some nice flakes and an occasional, what you could call a picker. And up in there, Indiana.
There's a lot of gold in Indiana.
Ever go by the quarries and you happen to take a close look, you'll see a sluice running off the side back end of it. They're getting fine gold, and a lot of it out of that sand. So,
well, there's the one hunt that they do in Indiana where it's on this guy's private property, and in the back of the property is a creek. And when you go to this hunt, you'll see probably 10 sluices in the creek running, and they're running them all day for like 3 days.
Yep.
And they're pulling a bunch of gold.
Yep.
Out of that creek.
Indiana's got a lot of fine gold. Parts of Ohio, Kentucky, Coker Creek area in Kentucky, they do pretty good. And then you get down in Alabama and the Carolinas, Georgia,
You got nuggets there.
you got nuggets, you got gold, but the thing is most of that gold ground is tied up
Yes.
privately and in the hands of the Cherokee Nation.
Right.
Well, you go up by Lake Superior by the UP of Michigan, and on either side of Superior, you got a lot of gold in Lake Superior.
Yep.
And you get some big ones there also. That's all what was pulled back from the Ice Age.
Yep. And Illinois has a glacial moraine that gold can be found on. If you can get onto the private side of the ground and work the streams that cut through that glacial moraine, there's gold that's been gathered by those streams and deposited. Michigan has fine gold in it. You get in Minnesota and they actually have gold bearing areas, and but it's almost all hard rock.
Is that the crush it type?
Yeah.
You crush it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some tough work.
Yeah. You need a ball mill for that stuff. Break it
Don't
down.
you have to burn that with acid too once you crush it?
It all depends upon how good a job you get it crushed.
Okay. So I remember seeing something on that where they were using some type of acid on it.
Yeah. Muriatic.
That would steer me away from it.
Yeah. And but South Dakota's claims you can get on are pretty well loved, let me tell you. But if you have a chance to get on some private ones out there, you can find some of that good gold out there. Their gold has that pink to it. It's 70%, and it's got copper in it. That's that Black Hills gold jewelry, that beautiful pink color stuff. If you get a nice piece and turn it into jewelry, they get good money for that.
Oh yeah, you get
nuggets
real
of that
good
out there too. Good sized nuggets of gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's places you can go enjoy yourself. You can go down into North Carolina. Now, I don't know how much damage got done down through some of those streams, which would be southwest of Asheville.
Okay.
I'm quite sure it stirred up gold. Eventually, you might find a couple of them down in there. I'm probably sure down along Polly Spout Road, which is below Asheville. There are a lot of places you go in and pay to go in and spend the day high banking and digging, and they even bring you loads to your high banker for a certain amount. Right out of their mines.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. But that area is also rich in all kinds of geodes and beryl and emerald and things found, and moss agate. My wife loves it down there. She's been down there with me a couple of times. She goes rock hounded.
Nah.
She come home with 2 nice emeralds out of one that she found that made real pretty earrings.
That's cool.
Half carat.
Mark's detecting in the house.
Yeah,
Kevin, you may want to check your flights for Alaska. It's possible that they may have changed a little bit.
Yeah, Dennis was posting that up. I just did a quick run through on my emails. I didn't get an email on my flight or on our flight. So.
Yeah, but those can change 5 times between now and
yeah, it just changes and changes and changes.
I think last year they changed like 4 or 5 times. Like it went up earlier and then all of a sudden moved back again.
Right.
Kevin says he'd like to go to Lake Superior and search for Yelper lights.
Is that the same stuff you need the
They
black
actually
light?
show up under black light, yeah.
Yeah, and you can get it in the beaches in Chicago too. There were people coming up hitting the Chicago beaches last year and finding a bunch of it. I saw a bunch of videos on it. They go at dusk, hit it with the black light, and it shows up like purple.
Yep.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that stuff was.
Neat looking rocks.
Yes.
Yes, they are. Um, I hadn't seen anybody ask it in the chat, but if they want to get registered for the 3-man ID Me hunt at the meet and greet, I assume all they need to do is find you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Find me, and we could do that at the meet and greet too.
Yep.
It'll save them
Okay.
time Saturday morning.
Right.
And then they can get out and look for all your tokens you buried.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's going to be tokens out there for Morgans.
Yeah. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, I'm sure Alan's going to be out there looking for some of those.
If you insist.
There you go.
I'd hate to
Well,
let
we're
you
getting
down.
we're getting it together, and people are signing up, and we need you to all come on out and have a good time at that one. But we should have it there to keep you active all day.
Mindy,
think
no, we
so.
have not set an amount of teams.
Oh, that's your guys' call there.
Yeah, at this point, no, we haven't. If we get too many, we may have to, because we can't. We only have so much time to allot for people.
Yeah.
Because we can't go into when they're
What
going.
time would you actually, start that portion? In other words, before our main hunt start, of course, there's the kids.
Right. Oh yeah, we'll start right away at the beginning. We'll start right from the beginning.
There you go.
Yeah, because they want to run it to where it's not conflicting with the other hunts.
Right. So we'll do some at the beginning. We'll do some right before lunch. We'll do some before the seeded hunts, right after the seeded hunts, because we're going to work around all that stuff.
Yep. Sounds good.
And like I said, once you're on the course, you should be done about 27 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Quick math.
Yeah.
That's how we tried to set it up.
Which is not that bad.
No.
Good. Good deal. Well, we'll see how it works out. It'll be fun.
Well, it worked out real well last time, so I don't see any problems.
I mean, if somebody wants a shot at a free detector, 27 minutes of your time is not a whole lot of time to take out of your day to try to do that.
And that's not an inexpensive machine either. What does a triple score sell for, Chuck?
Right now, I have to look.
I thought it was a little over $500.
I think it's $569, but
okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, Chuck's been so busy, we still haven't been able to find out about the Mine Lab repair support for the.
Yeah, I made a couple of calls and nobody's calling me back.
Right. They're all trying to dodge him.
But they're still selling the 800, and normally, if they're selling a unit, they're still supporting a unit.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree.
I hope they keep supporting it. I love the 800.
It's a good machine.
800 has become a bit of a legend itself. Hate to use that phrase, but people have just done so well with those machines.
Well, yeah, like I said with other machines, you have to give that machine time to prove itself in the field.
Right.
And the 800 has done that time and time again.
I mean, in the gold fields even.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, I don't want to knock a brand, but I took one with last year to Alaska.
Yeah.
And the first 3 days, I found nothing. I borrowed an 800 from the gold mine and ended up with 9 or 10 nuggets.
You did good.
You did.
And those were all, everything I found was with the 800.
Right. Well, I mean, it's, and it's not that there's anything wrong with the other brand of machine that you were using. It's just some machines work better in better situations.
It worked better for coins, for gold. I found a lot of gold with it last year, just not nuggets.
Yep.
Right.
It I don't know. They need to figure that one out.
Yes.
And you know, they've got a high frequency coil coming out for the machine you're talking about now. And high frequency is generally what they're using in around 20 to 40 kilohertz for their gold machine. And I don't know what the standard 2 does for frequency on its high end, but we'll see how it does.
Yes.
Right.
But again, I didn't find anything till I started using the
A
800.
mine lab.
Yep.
And I think all the big nuggets that were found were all with mine labs.
Yep. There was MANTICORE found them, the 900 found them, and the 800.
Yes.
Yep.
And Tim was using the 800 on his big one. So
Yes. All three of
And
them.
that was a nice one.
Yeah, but all three of them were good sized.
That's true.
funny what lies in those roads. So,
Yeah.
I told everybody, they didn't believe them.
Yep.
But every one of the bigger nuggets that were found last summer were all in the roads.
It's funny how they stop laughing and pointing at you when you pull up one of them big nuggets out of the road.
Well, I'd pulled a quarter ouncer. I went down. I was listening to one of them complaining. And I said, see that? What did I tell you to hunt? I'm not hunting in the road. That's fine.
Okay.
Mike Doyle listened. He got a half ounce and a third ounce a mile away from us in the road.
Yep.
Then Tim, he went out and he got that first one, I think it was around a quarter of an ounce, and showed it to the whiner. And then all of a sudden things changed. And then Tim pulled that 2.5 ounce out. And then the whiner found a nice chispa. And the rest of them were starting to find them good in the road. And we did well.
He got that 2.5 ouncer 20 feet away from me.
Mm-hmm.
And about 20 minutes after I got my nugget.
Yep. So, you know, and there's more in there.
I'm sure.
I've hunted those roads for 15 years and pulled nuggets.
Oh, yeah, you know they are.
You really got to listen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slow, and slower.
Mm-hmm. They're there.
Yep. You put in the time. You may have to work for it, but you put in the time, you'll be well rewarded.
That's right, Troy. Gold's where you find it. But it always helps if you go to the area where gold has been found before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dow. That's good, Barb.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but the best gold is under your coil.
There you go, Wendy's. No, that's fun.
Oh,
Yes,
boy.
Mindy, they were just about every one of the bigger nuggets were all in the road.
Yep.
And there's miles of roads. All the
Oh,
roads
yeah.
were made
All
by
the
the tailing
tailings.
piles from the
All the
1800s.
tailings, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff but you better have a good pickaxe in hand.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They were
You
making
better
fun of
be
me
ready
'cause
to
I had a
work.
little one, and I didn't take one of the ones that they supplied.
I'm going to step away for a second. Wife's hollering at me. Hang on.
I had a little one, maybe this big, and the ones that the gold mine had were like 3.5 feet long.
Oh,
And you needed those if you wanted to dig deep.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those roads were so packed down over the last 130 years,
Mm-hmm.
because that's all tailings from the 1890s 1890s gold rush.
Right. Now, it's not very often that I actually have a need for it, but when I do, I've got it's a little Apex Badger. It's like I don't know, 1.5, 2 foot long pick that it does all right for what I need it for.
Yeah, up there you need the bigger ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, when they do a fresh push, they'll take the big mounds of the pay dirt and spread it out. Then that's not packed down. But when you're talking the roads,
that's a little different story at that point, though, because it isn't all packed down like it is in the roadbed. In the roadbed, though, man, you're going to work for it.
Yeah. My nugget was maybe 1.5 inches deep in the road. That's about it.
And I'll bet you still had to work for it.
Okay. Oh yeah. It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
When they're driving those big utes over the top of that, and they're driving bulldozers up and down it's almost concrete.
Yeah. It gets packed fast.
It does. But if we don't have a wet spring and year there, I want to get these guys over to one area. It's a 30-mile ATV ride about one way, and it's about an hour to get there, hour and 15 minutes if there's not a lot of high water, that kind of stuff.
Not bad.
The tailing piles go for miles.
You got to remember to save some of that for the second group.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Well, like you said, the tailings piles go for miles.
Things this big. I've seen a couple almost the size of mics come out of there right off the top of a tailing pile.
Wow.
Oh, now you went and done it.
So we got to go over there.
Yep. Everybody's going to be on you now. Chuck, when are we going over and hitting those tailings?
Water's up. There ain't no way. And the past couple of years we've been there, they had, before we got there, I mean, the roads were creeks.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't there one year it started to rain or something while you guys were out somewhere and you just about didn't make it back across?
Didn't get back across the creek. So that one is a kind of a dicey little run. But it's fun.
But as long as weather conditions permit.
Yep.
Well, I know last year, the one day we were down the one road and it was just gravel or dirt. The next day it was under about a foot of water.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't rain by us, but it must have rained up in the mountains. It all ran out and
all ran down.
And you had creeks.
Yeah.
Instead of roads.
Yep. And it changes just that fast.
Immediately.
Well, I'll tell you what, that water is pure, clean, clear. No water shortages up there.
No.
No.
And you probably didn't get up into there, but where the early miners, Alan, they ran the steam jennies down, and then they drifted the different layers of beaches over the years or above where we were hunting along that road. You can go up there and they're full of water. Those shafts are full of water. But if the sun gets above, you can see down that water is so clear. But those shafts, they use the steam jennies to melt the permafrost, and then they dug it out, pile it up, and that's just kept going all winter long. And then they built a dam up off the King's Mountain there, and it held water back. And each sluice system and they had a door they opened and sent them down there. And when those sluices broke, everything blew out. They got them stopped. They'd repair them. They didn't go looking. They didn't pick it up.
Right.
They just started again and kept going. And that's why those spots, those what we call small tailing piles, can be so rich. The one at Snowflake had 32 ounces in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's like last year, where he was digging his pay dirt for the slick plate.
Yeah.
He found an old sluice from the 1800s. What was that, about 30 feet down?
Yeah. At where the excavator was, it was about,
yes.
And then up to where he followed it out was only about 4 feet. It was running at that angle to feed that, and the grate that they had in there was a cast iron street grate.
Yeah, you could see how they missed gold.
Yeah.
The actual sluice run was like 2x4s of wood,
Hmm.
and the slats going across it was wood for parts of it. But I mean, it was the coolest thing you ever saw as he was digging it out. And they said he was going to have it out by this year and have it on the display somewhere.
Because they found picks, shovels,
Yep.
hooks to pull that stuff up. I mean, it was all right there, and it was a microcosm of the 1897 gold rush up there.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a small museum right there.
Oh, they do. They got a lot of stuff. When they were digging and working up their claim, they actually broke into the shafts from them going down and drifting, and they found equipment, lunch boxes, all kinds of stuff, lights still sitting down in those places. They just shut it down. World War I shut it all down.
Right.
And all that stuff that they were digging up was just so cool. And some of it was just laying around the site there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When we went over there.
So,
It was really cool.
yeah.
But you could see why those sluices missed a lot.
Yeah.
Nothing like what you see on TV today.
Mm.
They don't miss that much at all anymore.
Not compared to what you're talking, or you and I are talking about here. So, yeah, the gold price is up there. It can be worth your time to get out and have a sluice. Alan's prepared. He's going to go out and do some fun on the beaches looking for gold.
Mm-hmm.
I can certainly understand why when gold's at that price.
Yeah, it used to be, okay, $365 an ounce.
Yes.
What was gold worth at that point? 31.1, 12, $13 a gram. Now it's $100 a gram. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, you can just hear them now. Oh, gold will never break 2,000 an ounce, and look at where we are.
Yes.
I had a dealer, he's still involved, that I would trade and buy with and take. He liked my finds. He liked the, going through stuff, and he'd swap me here and there, and I'd buy a 1/10 ounce of gold from him. And I have tenths from him that I still have, 1/10 ounce gold, the Sin gold and the pandas and that stuff from back in the 80s, $60, $55 a tenth.
Yeah.
190.
And those things are probably $325,
At least.
maybe even $350.
No, it's crazy.
Probably closer to the 350 now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also be picking up as much silver as you can too to keep.
Yeah, because sooner or later it's got to even out to the way it once was historically.
Well, they both still get used all the time, both gold and silver.
Yeah, absolutely.
Silver, every laptop you have, all your electrical where the wires are soldered on, it's covered in silver.
Right.
Yep.
And
you can separate all that silver when the laptops break.
And they're also
and your contacts are gold plated.
They're printing gold backs and silver backs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I never saw silver ones.
States have allowed that to be used as legal tender out west.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, no, Mindy's leaving. We'll talk to you later. So, yeah, the sledgehammer was cool, Dennis, in that pile of equipment they dug up. Well, anyway, we're past right at the witching hour there.
Yep. Cryptocurrency sounds cool, but you still can't beat the physical, tangible gold and silver.
I agree 100%.
Crypto's made people a lot of money.
It has.
It's also cost people a lot of money.
But I know plenty of people that gold and silver have made them a lot of money. So do you.
And I lost money on a venture, but I made money on another one.
But you've made on them too.
Yeah, Lost Coyote Mining. Anyway, it's that time.
Well, thank you for having me tonight.
Well, thanks for coming on, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
You tell John apologies.
Right.
Will do.
Let him know we were
It's
thinking
your
of him.
fault, Landau. Somehow it's your fault because
Oh,
you got
sure, why not? I'll
you got to
take
come
it.
on tonight. You didn't say John, you just said you.
I've got broad shoulders. I'm tough. I can take it.
I know nothing.
And we'll see you all at the Heartland Hunt. See you at the I Hunt.
All right.
Absolutely. Thanks for taking the time, Alan.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
And same for me. I'm out of here. Stay safe. Find a bucket lister. They're talking a little rain here off and on tomorrow, but talking warm the next 2 days. The rain's coming in the evenings a little bit here in the morning, but
I'm looking at chilly and rain for the next 4 or 5 days.
rain on our parade, will you?
Yeah, it's killing me.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just the physical therapy that's killing me. But either way, it ain't no fun.
No, but stay safe, my friends. Go find
You do the same.
lister. Dennis, keep trying.
There you go.
All right.
We'll see you, Chuck.
See you, my friend. Bye-bye. Night all.
All right. So, nice little update and announcement there on Swing Into Summer. Good to sit down and catch up with Alan again. It's been a while, a little bit anyway. And thanks to Dennis for the updates on the spot price. Definitely, for you folks in the chat, keep those spot prices coming. We like to see them. And if you know somebody that made a stellar find, like Emery recently, send them our way or send me a message and I'll go looking for them. That's simple enough to do too. Either way, though, we definitely appreciate Alan for taking the time to be on. John was definitely in our thoughts, but he had prior obligations. And that's fine. Alan is entirely capable of covering the I.P. hunt, as you folks all seen and heard. So, if you enjoyed the show, throw us a like here on YouTube. You can follow us on Beyond Sight and Sound on YouTube. Or, if you prefer, you can follow the audio side in podcast distribution through your favorite podcast distribution services. Sunday, we're back with Fred Banky. Should be a good time. We'll see you on the next one. We sure are glad you found us here tonight. Thanks for dropping by and joining in. If you like metal detecting, treasure hunting, gold prospecting, or even entertaining discussion, check us out Wednesdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern, on your favorite podcast distribution services.